Hey, today we're talking with Waupaca Police Chief Brian Hosell in regards to the COVID-19 situation. And your department, I'm sure, is certainly operating differently today than it was a month ago. And one of the things we want to talk about is how you're operating. The first thing the public may know is the lobby at your building's closed. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Josh, thank you. The lobby, of the police department's been closed for about a week and a half, and it's been different for us operating that way because we rely on our administrative assistants so much. But if citizens in a community need service, the lobby is still open. It's just the windows that's not. They can pick up the red phone in the lobby and wait for the Waupaca County Dispatch to answer, or they can call our main number at the police department, which is 715-258-4400 during business hours. That line is forwarded to, or that call is forwarded to our administrative assistant, and she can help and assist if people need records or information that's needed. And if anybody's making a open records request, they can do so by actually emailing Jerry, and her email address is jallen, ALLEN, at cityofwaupaca.org.
So the big difference when people come in the building, they're not going to be greeted by someone right now. But aside from that, your department's still fully staffed and still operating like you normally do, correct?
Yes, we are.
Another thing out there, another misconception, we've got the safer at home order from the governor, and there's been a lot of talk about people needing to carry letters or people getting pulled over to prove why they have to be out. And tell us about the misconception that a letter is not needed.
Yeah, there is not a letter that is needed. We're trying to follow the governor's orders as best that we can. And there was a lot of rumors that people or officers are going to be out there stopping vehicles randomly and asking to see where they're going or what they're doing. And we're not out doing this. What the officers are doing is you'll see them out on patrol. They're out doing a lot of business checks. They're driving through the parks and just making sure that everybody's following the orders that the governor has set in place.
Now, you made the comment on business checks, and maybe things are more clearly defined now, but that initial order he put out left a lot of gray area about what businesses are essential and non-essential, and that could be open to some interpretation. If you come across a business that you feel is probably not essential, what steps does the business need to take to prove one way or the other?
Well, what we're relying upon is the WEDC website, that if you go there and open up the tab, they will tell you what businesses are considered essential and non-essential. And if there's any question, at the bottom of the page, there's a essential business designation inquiry, and it allows you to submit the information to the state, and the state will get back and they will let you know whether or not the business is essential or not. But we have had where I actually went into the business and we went onto the WEDC website together, and they were found out to be an essential business. So we were good. But a lot of times, people may call and they just want to say, hey, we don't think this business is essential. So if people out there, before calling, if they could just check that WEDC website and look there, and if they have any questions, maybe for us and afterwards, they can just give us a call.
Another issue is your DA's office. They're taking a strong stance on the safe at home orders. Tell us a little more about how they're looking at this whole situation.
Well, this is a public health order because of this is a pandemic. And in talking with the district attorney's office, this is a crime, and they are going to prosecute people who are in blatant violation of this. And that fine is up to $500 and 30 days in jail. So everybody in the community, in the city and the county, really needs to take a good look at what they're doing and practicing, because if we're going to stop this. Everybody needs to be in compliance with what the laws are.
All right, and flipping gears a little bit, what have you and your officers been seeing while you've been out in the community since the safe at home order's been in effect? Are most people being pretty good about it? Have there been a lot of issues? Anything common out there that you've been seeing a lot that people shouldn't be doing?
No, actually, we haven't seen like a rise in crime in our community. We see more people that are out walking. Don't see a lot of people like we would on a daily basis. The traffic is down, and I attribute a lot of that to the community that we live in, that everybody's really taken this pandemic serious, and the community's really working together so that we don't have anything that happens in the city. And for the officers, if somebody does call in and they have a complaint, instead of normally you would see officers that go to people's houses or whatever, we're really trying to handle as many calls over the phone as possible with people, with talking with them, or even if we do show up there at their residence, we're asking them to come outside and speak with us so that we're not going inside the residence. Or we may talk to them by phone from the squad car to the residence if we're at their house.
And I know I've been seeing a lot of people out and about, whether it's for a walk or at a park or on a trail. And I think it's great to see the people outside, but there's a couple reminders you have as far as people being in the parks and being outdoors.
Yeah, especially at Swan Park, the Parks Department has put up signs that say, the playground is closed, the skate park is closed. People really need to listen or look at those signs and understand that, it's not safe for them to go on that public playground equipment. The parks are still open that you can walk through and, enjoy the spacing, but it's really important that everybody just follows the social distancing that's being required. Just our officers, we're practicing social distancing within the department, and making sure that there's only one officer maybe in the office at a time, and making sure that we're keeping that barrier that they're requesting to keep. And I know it's a big change for everybody, but again, if we all work together, we'll get through it together.
Well, Chief Hozell, thanks for joining us and updating us kind of from the police department perspective, what's going on, what you've been seeing, and what we need to keep in mind in our community.
All right. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it.